Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am going to be playing a new game called Demonship. This is from Black Site Studios. I'll put a link in the video description below if you want to grab yourself a copy. It is called a micro skirmish game. Micro because this is it. You're playing on a 6-inch by 6-inch play area. Now you can play with 2D paper for the various elements. I've got some 3D laser cut pieces that I made for the base and for the various parts. But again, the game does come with some templates that you can copy and print out on paper so you can play this. Now, if you order the game, the boxed game, you will get some miniatures. This is the survivor right here. This is who you're going to be playing. And then there are 4 enemies. There is what they call the gun demon, which is this one right here. You get 2 of the blade demons, 1 and 2 right there. And then you also get what's called a demon frog, a frog demon. Those are your 4 enemies, and what's happened is your ship has dropped into some like portal. It's in some weird kind of space. The ship has no power. Everything's dark, and you need to find the bridge so you can restore power. Now the game is broken into 3 acts. The first one is the power act. You have to find the engineering room, not the bridge, excuse me. You have to find the engineering room and find a console and restore power. That moves you into the second act of the game, which is where you then have to get to the Nav Bridge, I think that's the Nav Bridge, to restore the escape protocols or something along those lines. And then last, you have to escape. You have to find a suitable escape pod. So 3 acts to the game. Now each act is broken into phases. There's what they call the room phase, which is where you will determine what room you are in. And then there is the wits phase, which is where you basically play out the combat that will happen. The game uses D6 dice. You'll need a bunch. And your health is based on something called the pulse rate. It starts at 3, and your pulse rate will determine how many dice you roll on your turn during the wits phase. You start at 3. I don't believe it can go lower than 3. Maybe it can, but I think 3 is the lowest. It can go up to 6. If it hits 7, you die. So you want to maintain your pulse rate between 3 and 6, and there's various ways you can do that. Now on your turn you'll be rolling that number of dice, and the dice, if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, those get assigned to the demon's turn. If you roll a 4 through 6, those dice become assignable to various tasks that you want to do. Any dice that you roll 1, 2, or 3, the demons will go first. Then you will assign your dice to these 6 actions, and based on which action you choose, there will be a mirror action that the demons will perform. So for example, this first one called a blast or a bash, it's blast if you're ranged, bash if you're doing an adjacent one. If I assign a die there, and it doesn't have to be a 1, it could be anything from a 4 to a 6. Remember, you're trying to roll 4s through 6s. So when I assign a die there, I get a blast action on my turn and any other actions I want to perform, but then that die slides over, and any actions that you perform that get mirror actions, then the demons get to go again. So definitely, you've got to do a little strategy about what do you want to do, knowing that it's going to trigger another action. Now you'll notice these arrows here that point from 3 to 2 to 1. So when you assign dice, and let's say put a 1 here and a 2 here and a 3 here. So 3 is evade, 2 is move, and 1 is attack. Let's say your enemy, the enemies can only have 1 evade token. So let's say that there's 2 enemies on the board. Because I cannot get another, and they both have evade tokens. All right, so if they both have evade tokens, this die automatically moves to a move, which means they both, or one, you do it to your best advantage. So you move the closest enemy to you, and then you would apply the next one either to the other enemy, or if this one can, let's say this one has a ranged attack. If it moves within ranged, it could then use the one to attack you. But let's say it has a melee and it has to get up next to you. Well, it could use this second one to get up next to you and then perform an attack. Or if it does a ranged, then you could use the second two to move this one closer to you, and so on. Let's say that there's only one enemy and he's within range. Well, then this 2 slides down to a 1, and he would get 2 attacks on you. The attacking is done automatically. When you shoot a ranged attack, or if you do an adjacent attack, it automatically does 2 damage if you do a blast attack, for example. If the enemy is next to you and it attacks, it does a certain number of damage, either range damage or melee damage, and that damage is applied to your pulse roll. So let's say it does 2 damage. Well, first off, you get a roll to see if you dodge it. You dodge a point of attack on a 4 or higher. So if it does 2 points, you would roll 2 dice. A 6 would beat the 4, and the 3 would not. So I would take a point of damage because of 2 damage, and only the 3 does not block. So that would increase this to a 4, and I'm kind of glad I rolled that 6, because when you roll 3 6s, every time you roll a 6 on a defense die, you get to move that down here. You need another die on your next turn, because remember, next turn I'm going to roll 4 dice. So every time you roll a 6, you put it down here. When you get 3 6s, called the Mark of the Beast, you can use these on your turn to do any 3 actions without mirror actions. So kind of a cool little extra twist to the rules there. Again, you want to keep an eye on your pulse rate and keep it down. So that's the number of the beast. There are crates and barrels that you can interact with. The crates usually store things like armor or weapons. When you investigate a crate by using an interact action, you roll a d6. And on a 1 to 2, you get a frag grenade. On a 3 to 4, you get a soda. And on an armor, you get 5 or 6. You can have one of these at a time. So you put a die in there to indicate that you have a soda. If you have armor, the armor, if I remember right, it helps with your pulse rate by lowering your pulse rate. The soda, let's say your pulse rate's already down to 3, then you could store that armor until you need it. The soda does something and the frag does something. I think the soda gives you extra movement or something like that. I'll look it up. I can't remember all the little itty-bitty rules, but let's see, does it tell me what the soda does? The soda used to move 2 spaces and gain 2 evasion tokens. The flame frag can pick a point and all points next to it are on fire. And the armor plate used to reduce pulse rate by 2. So you can store up the armor if your pulse rate is, and the pulse rate cannot go below 3. So, it mentioned evasion tokens. So, on a 3, one of the aliens would get an evasion token. An evasion token is chipped in to avoid 1 point of armor, or 1 point of damage. So, if I do 2 points of damage to an enemy that has 1, this goes away, and I automatically do 1 point of damage. The enemies can only have 1 evasion token at a time. The survivor can get 3 evasion tokens, up to 3 at a time, and can avoid up to 3 points of damage in a single instant. All right, I think that is it for the rules. If there's any other rules, movement. Movement can be done diagonally. It can be, line of sight can be diagonal. Over a pedestal like this, you can only move up and off it if you're diagonal, or orthogonal. You cannot move diagonally on it. This is called a console. You interact with a console to do special things in the rooms. There are 6 different types of rooms that I'll be rolling, and those rooms will tell me where to place these mainframes and doors and things like that. So that's it. Let me go ahead and get the game set up, and I'll get started playing Demonship.
Check out the new RPG and wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is find out what type of room I start in. I'm pretty sure I start in just a random room. Let me, I'm pretty sure I do. During this stage, only the console is functional. Okay. The game begins in the power stage with the ship functioning on emergency power. Only the console in the engine room is functional. Darkness is applied. Darkness means I can only shoot an enemy up to 2 squares away. The only way, okay, when you perform the room phase. All right, so we're going to do a room phase. We're going to roll a d6. And at the back of the rule book are all the different rooms. If I can find it. Here we go. The different rooms. And like I said, you can do this with paper or you can do the 3D. If you do it with paper, it gives you, well, let's go ahead and roll it. So let's roll a d6. I rolled a 5. So 1 is a corridor, 2 is the armory, 3 is cryo, 4 is engine room. The engine room is where I need to get, and 5 is the Nav Bridge. So I am on the Nav Bridge. Now each room has two optional setups. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Okay, so I'm going to be doing 5A. So basically, these 2 large pieces go along the back wall. One of these goes here. Console, where's the console? What do I do with it? Console goes right here. And this goes there. One of the doors goes here. The other door goes here. And the console is on here. Okay, it's right there. All right, so here's how this works. There's 2 exits. Exit 1, which one's it? Exit 1 and exit 2. You roll a d6, and 1 to 3 is exit 1. I rolled a 2, so I will be starting at exit 1. Your job is, in order to reveal another room, I have to get to this door. And then when I go through that door, I reveal another room. There's an interesting little mechanic here. If you get to a corridor and you roll a corridor again, you automatically find the room that you want. Otherwise, you just got to keep randomly rolling. You can take damage, believe it or not, in order to change that value. So it's called, what was it? Exert. So when you do a test, you can increase your pulse rate by up to 2. For each point the pulse goes up, you may modify the roll by 1. That means up or down. You could change it up or down. Now, it says for a room test, the room test is where you find next. You can use the exert to change that into a 4, 5, or 6. The 4, 5, and 6 are the 3 rooms I need for the 3 different acts, which are the engineering room. Engineering is 4, 5 is the Nav Bridge, which that's not good. That's what I want to get to in the 2nd act. And then the escape pod room for Act 6. Now, for Act 1 and Act 2, there really isn't a time limit. I'll be tracking the rounds just out of habit. But when you get to the last act, you only get, I think, 6 rounds to find an escape pod and get off the ship or you die. So I'm going to use the blue die to represent that one, and the green dice will be the dice I roll. Okay, after you set up the room, the only thing left to do is to do what's called the spawn action, which is where you basically decide where the aliens go. So you roll a d6. I rolled a 5. A 5 is those look sharp. Place 2 blade demons, and they take the prowl action. Prowl action is spawn within 4 spaces out of line of sight if possible, including walls. Okay, so if I'm there, 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. The diagonal there would block him line of sight. And this other one, now if I remember right, diagonal, you can, counting spaces. During play, you'll be counting spaces to measure range. When counting spaces to determine whether a space is within a certain range, you can count spaces orthogonally and diagonally in any order and combination, including spaces occupied by walls. So like I said, I just went 1, 2, 3, 4. For this one, I went diagonally. But this one, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could put him up here, and he's 4 spaces away, and he's out of line of sight, which is what it asked for. All right, one final thing. There is a console in this room, which is right here. In every room, the console does something. Now, unfortunately, I am in the Nav Bridge, which in this case, activating this moves me to the 3rd act. But remember, I'm in the 1st act. I'm in darkness right now. So this console's not going to do anything. So my best bet is to get to this door and reveal another room. When I go to another room, whatever creatures are in there, they're done. Don't have to worry about them. All right, so let's see what I want to do. I am going to be rolling. My pulse rate is 3, and I will be rolling 3 dice. All right, not good. I rolled 2 attacks, and I rolled a 4. So I will assign this. Now, if you'll remember, I explained that the dice go 3, 2, 1, and then it wraps around again. And I'm gonna show you that I forget what it's called. It describes how the dice shift like that. But it goes 3, 2, 1, and then it wraps around to the 3 again. So let me double check, because I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Come on, man. Yeah, by the way, here in the back of the book, there's the templates that you can photocopy and paste. All right, so where is that rule about the dice shifting? Okay, here we go. If the closest demon cannot resolve, the demon instead resolves the next action. Continue moving for demon, resolving any unresolved pulls. Demons can only ever have 1 evasion. Okay, so dynamic. Here we go. It's called dynamic pulse dice. If the actions granted to demons are multiplied, or cannot be resolved, they will dynamically convert downwards to actions that can be resolved. So I will not. It does not wrap around. So this is going to be good for me because these 2 are attack. These are melee. They have a melee action only, so they will not move. These will not come up. And then if these were at move, I could get 1 to move, and he can move. The blade demons can move 3. So this one could go 1, 2, 3, and he still wouldn't be close enough. So I guess I got lucky in the sense that these 2 are wasted. They went all the way down, and they cannot move. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a move. I can move up to 3. I'm gonna assign that here. I'm gonna assign that here. Now the mirror action is attack, but remember these are melee. So even if I'm in line of sight, they can't do anything without a move action to pair it. So I'll use my blast to shoot. I'll use my move. To move 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to stay out of range of these guys. Although on their move, they can move. The blade demons can move 3. So if I get a 2 and a 1 on the next roll, this one can go 1, 2, and then he could get me. This comes over to a move action, which now the nearest one is this one. He can move 3, so he can go 1, 2, and he's next to me. But there is no attack action, so I'm good there. And that is the end of the turn. So let's go up to turn 2. I roll my 3 dice. What I really don't want is 1, 2s, or 3s. I got a 3. All right. So you start here. Now, the nearest one, I can give him an evade token. That is possible. So this goes away. Now, the 5 and the 4. There's this thing called blitz, where you can run by your enemy. Blitz is move up to 3 spaces, but it says when the survivor performs the blitz action to move through demon-occupied spaces, each space the survivor moves through prompts an attack, but I'm not moving through a demon space. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. After placing the survivor on the final space, roll a d6 for each demon-occupied space they move through. On a result of 1, the survivor is dealt a point of damage. On a 6, the survivor dodges and can bank that 6. All right, so here's what I can do. I'm going to put both of these on move, okay? I'm going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These come over to here. The nearest one is this guy. He can use this to move. 1, 2. He's next 3. Because I'm on this space with the door. I'll just put the door down here. This one, it can help the enemy. You always do it to the best of the enemy. So he can attack. So he will attack me, and his blade demon, the melee damage is 1. So remember, I get an evasion try. On a 4 higher, I evade it. I did. So I take no damage, and that is the end of that turn. So we go to 3. I'm still at 3. I haven't taken any damage. I roll 3, and I'm hoping for a move and not an attack by one of these guys. All right, evade and a 6 and a 4. Well, lucky me, the 3, this guy cannot get another evade. This guy can. And then here's what I can do. I could use the blast to kill it. Actually, no, I can't because he's got an evade. So my blast does 2 damage, but he'll evade 1, and he's only got 2 health. So he will still survive. But this leaves me with this. So I'm going to choose to move. And don't I get an evade somewhere? I thought I did. Move up to 2 spaces, gain an evasion token. All right. So I'm going to choose to do a that was called a run and gun. And then the other one, move up to 2 spaces and deal damage, move up to 2 and gain an evasion token. All right. So, I'll put 1 on a run and gun and 1 on a asylum. Here's why. I'm going to dodge here, move up to 2 spaces and deal with damage. So I'm going to deal with damage to him, which loses this. Then I'm going to do the style on them. This comes over here, and this one comes over here, and it says moved up to 2 spaces and gain. So I'm going to go 1, 2, so I'm out of the room, and I get my own evasion token. All right, so I'm out of the room, and so everything has to reset. These go away. Doesn't matter about the token, and I get to roll to see what room I'm in. So remember, I'm rolling a d6, and what I'm trying to get is a 4. So, I could exert up to 2 to change it to a 4. So I'm hoping to roll a 4, but if I roll a 3 or a 5, I can exert to change that number by 1. So let's see what I get here. I need a 4. I got a 1, so not even going to try. So I think that's a corridor. All right, the corridor. The corridor is, let's do 1A or 1B. I rolled a 5, so I'll be doing 1B. The corridor has this here and here, and you know what I forgot to do last time? I forgot to discover things, but I'll do that this turn. Remember, I can place these to get specials, but I just wanted to get out of that room. All right, so that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and then the 1 goes right here. Exit goes here. Exit 1. Let's see, this one's up here, and this one is right here. And okay, so here's the discovery thing. All right, so up here in the top it says discover locked crates. You roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, you don't discover anything. On a 3 or 4, there's 1 crate, and on a 5 or 6, there's 2 crates. There's 2 crates, and it shows you on here. One of them is here, right there, and the other one is right there. Then it says discover barrels. Okay, same thing. 1 to 2, none. 3 to 4, 1. 5 to 6. So both barrels. 1 goes right here, and 1 goes right here. And then I roll to see which exit. This is exit 2, and this is exit 1. A 5 means I start at exit 2. So I'm starting over here, and I want to get down to here to exit. And then we do the spawn phase. 4, once again, prowl 2 Blaine demons. Remember, they have to be up to 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. This one could be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still line of sight. Is there any way to hide him so he's not in line of sight? 1, 2, 3, 4. That would do it. 1, 2, 3. This would do it. Yep. So I'm going to put him there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This would still be line of sight. 1, 2, 3. This would still be line of sight. So yeah. So over here is my best scenario. I can't put it here because 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 away. All right. Let's get to it. I know I need to get out of this room, and I'm not even going near these crates. Normally, when you go to a crate, you do an interact, and then you roll to see if you get a frag grenade, a soda, or an armor. But right now, I just want to get out of this door. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 dice. And that's not good. Evade, move, and attack. I get nothing. Nothing. All right. 3, one of them will get an evade token, which will be the closest one. They're the same, so I'll give it to this one. And then move. This one can move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the attack. And it attacks for 1 damage. Now remember, I get to roll to see if I automatically evade it. I do not. So I will use my dodge token to evade it, and it doesn't happen. All right, my turn again. The 3 is an evade, and then these 2 are mine. All right, the evade can go to the other enemy, and then the 4 and the 6. Well, I gotta blast this guy to get him out of my out of my face. So I'll assign 1 to a blast, and I'm going to assign 1 to run and gun. Is it run and gun that I want to do? Move 2, deal with damage, or move 2 and gain an evade. I'm going to do a style on him. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the blast does 2 damage, so it kills this guy automatically, and this comes over to be an attack. And then the style on him is move 2 spaces, gain an evasion. 1, 2, I get another evasion token, and that comes over to here to here. This cannot get another evade, so this moves here to a move. It can go 1, 2, 3. It's next to me. And then it attacks. Do I evade it? Yes, I do, so I don't have to use my evasion token. All right, my turn. Golly, 3 evade, move, and a 6. All right, remember, it already has an evade token, so it can't get it. 2 moves, it's already next to me, so these bump down, and it's going to get 2 attacks. On a 4 or higher, I will use the evade to get rid of that one, and then it gets 1 more. Doesn't do anything, a 4 or higher. All right, the 6, I will, if I blast it, it'll only do 1 damage. But if I do is it a run and gun, move or blitz, or a run and gun, I could do 1 damage, move up to 2 and gain an evade. I'm going to do a style on him again and go 1, 2 and gain another evasion, and hopefully I can avoid him this time. All right, let's keep going. I forget what turn this is. I should have been tracking it, but oh well. Maybe it's 5, I think. Well, no, when the room restarts, I think it starts over. Okay. The 2, it can move, and it'll move right here, but remember, it doesn't have anything to attack me unless I choose to do a blast, which it then could. But you know, I just want to get out of this room, so I'm going to do a run and gun, which allows me to, and then I'm going to do this. So I get to, so the run and gun is move 2 and deal with damage, which will take away his evasion. So move 2, 1, 2. And then this comes over to a move, and then the style on them lets me move 2 and gain an evasion. 1, 2, so I get an evasion back, or I still have 2, and I'm out of the room. So this guy goes away. And good for me, I haven't had to take any damage to up my pulse rate yet. And we clear this, and we see where we're going next. All right, so remember, I'm in a corridor. So if I roll a 1, which is a corridor, I get to go immediately to the room I need, which is the engineering room. The alternative is if I roll a 3 or a 5, I need to go to engine room, which is number 4. If I roll a 3 or a 5, I can move this up 1 and then adjust that die. So let's see what happens. A 1 would be the best. 3 and 5, second best. A 1. All right. So because I did a corridor, I go back to I go to the engineering room. Now remember, I'm in the dark, so I can only attack up to 2 spaces away, which is what I've been doing. I should have reminded you of that. All right, the engineering room, which one? 4, which is this one. We've got this goes here. This one goes here. That one's there. Oh, this is a complicated looking one. This one's here. The pedestal is here. The console is way over here in the corner. And exit 2 is here. And exit 1 is here. Oh, man. All right. And then, let's see. Where do I start? That's exit 1, which is right here. Okay, so I start on this space. And remember, I need to use the console to turn the lights on, and then I need to get to this door to get to the next act. So we're at turn number 1. Now I need to see. It says 1 locked crate. All right, it's not discover, it's just there is 1 locked crate. That one goes right here. And then it says discover barrels. Let me re-roll that. 1, no barrels. All right, so the room is pretty empty, and then we roll to see where the spawn point is. I rolled a 3, which is demons. Spawn 2 blade demons and 1 gun demon. Oh man, the blade demons are prowl, which is within 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. So these guys are nice and hidden. And then the gun guy is hunt. Hunt is spawn in the furthest space within line of sight. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will go right here. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. I still have 2 evasion tokens, which is good. I'm only rolling 3 dice. And let's see what I get. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 2 shoots and a 4. All right, the attack. The only thing that can attack is the gun demon. The gun demon has a ranged weapon, and it does 1 damage. Remember, I get to see if I avoid the first shot. I don't. I'll use an evade. And then the second shot, I do. And the 6, I'm going to put down here. I'm going to bank it. And those are gone. All right, now, what does 2 damage? The only thing that does 2 damage is blast, and the gun demon has 3 health. So I can only do, and I have to move here. Remember, I have to be within 2 spaces of him to shoot him. So I can't even get to him. I can move, but then I can't shoot, or I could shoot, but I can't because of the distance. So I think the only thing I can do is do a style on him. Move up to 2 and gain an evasion. I'll go 1, 2, and I gain an evasion token. This one comes over here to an evade. So the nearest enemy would be that one, so he gets an evade token. And that's the end of that. 3 actions. Oh man, I couldn't have rolled worse. 3 and 2. Okay. 3 gives him an evade. And 3 gives the other one an evade. Oop, wrong token. All right. And by the way, the tokens came with the box. These punch-out tokens. All right. That one. Now the move, the nearest one is right here. He will move. He will block my route. And that is done. I rolled nothing. That was turn number 2. So now we're up to turn number 3. So I get no turn, so now we go straight to 3 dice again. Man. All right, 4 is mine, the 3, and a 1. All right, the evade moves to a 2. This guy doesn't need to move. This guy can move 3. 1, 2, 3, which puts him here. And then the attack means he will attack me. He attacks for, the Blade Demon does 1 melee damage, but I get to see if I avoid it. I rolled a 6. I will bank that, and I do not take any damage. I so want to do this. I think this is cool. All right, and that leaves me with a 4. Well, I'm going to have to blitz, which means I'm going to have to move through him because these guys are coming for me. I need to, if I blitz, I can move through him and I can avoid that damage with my evade. And the blitz allows me to move up to 3 spaces, which would be 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that. I'm going to assign it to a blitz, which goes 1, 2, 3. Because I moved through a space of a demon, I take 1 point of damage, so I'll burn an evasion token. And this moves over to here, which means move. These guys are equal distance, so I will, if I were playing this, I'd want to try and block my exit, so I would move him here. That's, I mean, just worst case scenario, because then I have to move through him if I want to, well, I don't have to, but we'll see. All right, it's my turn. This is turn number 4. All right, let's see. Come on. A 2 and a 1. All right. The move. This guy does not need to move. This one can move. And then the 1, this guy will attack me for 1 point. Do I avoid it? No, I don't. So I'll use my last token to avoid that damage. And then this will allow me to, I'm not going to do a blitz. I'm just going to do a move. Actually, let me do a style on him. Will give me another evasion. I'm going to do a style. Lets me move 2. 1, I cannot move diagonally off the pedestal, so I'll just move down to 2, and I get an evasion token. And this moves over here to evade. They all have evade tokens, which then means this shifts down to a move, which means this is the closest one. He will move to intercept me, but there's nothing else he can do. He can't attack me this turn, and that is the end of the turn. All right, turn number 5. That's what I needed. I get everything. All right, so let's do, if I do 2 blasts, that'll kill him. And then the last one would be a move. Oh, I got to interact with that. I was thinking that was my exit. I got to interact and then move. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do 2 blasts and a move. And that move is going to shift, which means he's going to get to move and do an attack on me. But I'm going to be far enough away. I got this. Okay, so the 2 blasts move over here to attack, and it kills him. And then this, I'm going to do a move, 1, 2, and I think it says you just have to be adjacent to it. You have to be on it. So I'm adjacent to it. And that is the end of my move. This move allows this one to go 1, 2, 3. But he's a melee, so these drop out and he can't do anything. And that's the end of that. All right, so what I need is an interact. I need to do an interact, and then I need to get out of the door. All right, so I need to do an interact. Come on. Okay. So these 6s can be assigned. These don't go down here. The only 6s you can bank are when you roll a defense die. All right, so they all have evade tokens. This moves here to a move. It will move up, but it can't attack me because there's no dice to do it. So I need to do an interact, and then I need to do a blitz to run through him. So the interact, now the interact normally is automatic. It says if there are no demons adjacent to the survivor, it automatically succeeds. So there is one adjacent. Otherwise, you have to do a test. A test is a 4 or higher. So I'm gonna interact. I need a 4 or higher. I got a 1. I failed the interact. This comes over here. Then I need to, well, I don't want to move again. I'll do another interact. So I did. All right, so I successfully turned on the lights. I am now in act number 2, and I need to get to the Nav Bridge. Is that what? We'll look it up. All right, so I did another interact. These move over. All right, this is bad for me. Both of these, well, one of these, they're evade. They both have evade, so they move up. Move. Well, this guy can move. Actually, this one does not have to move. So you do have to apply the dice as best you can. So 1, 2, 3. His move is 3, right? Yep. And he would get 1 die. Actually, that's not true. They would both move. He would not move. This one would get 2 potential attacks on me. These would just shift down to give him the best opportunity. So on a 4 or higher, I'd evade. I'll use my evasion token, and a 4 or higher, I got a 6. That's what I needed. He does no damage to me. These go away, and here's where I need to burn these. All right, so when you get the 3 6s, let me read the rules for that. This is so cool. All right, the Mark of the Beast is what it's called. Come on, where are you? The rule book is sort of scattery. It's all over the place. Let me see. Defense, dodge. Here we go. Number of the beast. Each time a survivor... Okay, roll. Any time during the survivor's turn of the wits phase, the survivor can perform up to 3 actions, spending each 6 as they do so. These actions do not grant demon mirror actions and are cleared after they resolve. So I still have to roll my 3 dice, but then I get these as non-mirrored actions. So during the wits phase, if I can perform up to 3, spending each 6 as they do so. So I can hold on to these 6s. I don't have to use them, but why not? All right, so let me roll these. Now remember, I'm in Act 2 now, or Act 3. I just turned on the lights. No, so I'm still in Act 1. So now we're in Act 2, so starting on 1. All right, so 2 moves and a 6. Okay, so these will automatically move up. He will get 2 attacks on me. So the first attack, I need a 4 or higher. I did get it, so that goes away. And the second one, I need a 4 or higher. A 3. I take a point. So I'm up to 4 dice now, or 4 pulse. Now I get to assign my die. I already interacted. So let's go ahead and blast and blast, which will kill him. This comes over to attack. But the other 6 goes away. Remember, I used it from here, so it doesn't count. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to move 5 spaces to get out of this room. Do I really need to use these? I don't. I should hold on to them. Because he can go, well, he could move here and shoot at me if he gets a move action. Is there a crate? Oh, the crate's down here, so it's too late to go after the crate. I could use one of the 6s. I need to bank those. But remember, it takes all 3 before you can trigger that. So do I save them? No. It's best not, because I may never get to use them again. So let's just assume that I'm never going to roll a 6 on a defense. Let's use them. So I'm going to use this to do a move. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to use... This is going to go away because I'm going to be out of the room. I'm going to use another one to do a style on them, which allows me to move 2. 1, 2. I'm out, and I get an evasion token. All right, let's clear this and see where we go. We are in the engineering room. Now, believe it or not, if I rolled another 5, that would be a good thing, because it says when you do a room test, if you roll the same room you're in, because of the change in okay, it's right here, room phase, and it says, sorry, let me find it. If a rolled result if the result rolled, hold on, here we go. If the rolled result is the quarter room and the survivor is already in the quarter, the survivor instead finds the objective room. So I could go from the engineering room into the engineering room again. It's the corridor that has that double roll. So what I really need, knowing that I need to go from here to what, 5? Because I got to the engineering room for a 4 to turn the lights on. Now I need to get to the Nav Bridge. Yeah, I need to get to the Nav Bridge to turn on the emergency, whatever it was called. Let's see what it's called. It's called the, in the emergency stage, which is where I'm at, all consoles are powered. During this stage, the survivor must fight their way to the Nav Bridge and engage the emergency evacuation protocols. All right, so we got to get to the Nav Bridge, which is number 5. So it'd be really, really nice if I could roll a 5 right now. I rolled a 4. I am not going to bump this up to a 5, although a 4 is the bridge, is the engine room again. No, I am. I'm going to change that to a 5. To bump that up to a 5, and so the next room is where I need to be. Now, which one is it, 5A or 5B? 6 would be 5B. This goes here. This goes here. This is the first room I was in. Console is there. Console's right here. And got a 2 right here. Exit 2 is right here. Exit 1 is on the opposite side. Okay, which door do I start at? This is 2 and 1. I start at 2. All right, so I'm here. Where am I? Where's my man? There it is. I'd start here. I need to get to the console and then out this door right here. All right. Discover locked crates. Are there any locked crates? There are 2 of them. The crates are 1 and 2, and it says discover 1 barrel. I do discover a barrel. All right, I don't know what the barrels do. I think they're explosive if they catch fire or something. That goes here. All right, now we do the spawn. Ooh, not good. They're right behind me. Roll immediately again. On a 1 to 3, it's a spawn a frog demon. On a 4 or higher, it's a 2-blade. All right, so really what I want is a frog demon. Roll a 1 to 3. Come on. I did. All right. The frog demon spawns hunt. Hunt is spawn in the furthest space within line of sight. Hunt. Spawn in within line of sight. That's 2 away. That's 2 away. 3 away. That would do it right there. No, the barrel prevents line of sight for that guy. So would it be here? No. Would it be, where would it be? If it's here, is diagonal. But if he's here, oh yeah, he could be way over here and he'd still see me. Okay, so he's here on this space. Just put him there. I can't. The console, I can't remember if you can put him on the console or not. I don't think you can. All right, so he's right here, and I'm rolling 5 dice. Ooh. I need to lower that. I need to get some armor. All right, let's do this. I need to get to a crate. 2, 2, and 2. Which is not going to be good for me. The frog can move 4. So he'll use one of these to move here. And then he's going to get 2 attacks. He does, no, he moves here. He does ranged. So special, if the frog evades, it gains 2 evasion tokens. That's the only time an enemy can get more than 1. All right, so it's going to take 2 damage to me. Let's roll for it and see if he hurt. I've got 1 evade token. So 4 or higher, I'll go here. 4 or higher. Good. All right, so he doesn't do any damage to me. Now, I need to get to that crate. So I'm going to do a move and an interact. These went away. So the move will get me 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to get away from him so he can't see me. This moves over here. And the interact, there's no enemy, so I automatically get there. I get to roll a d6. What I'm looking for is a 5 or a 6. I got a 1, which is a frag grenade. So I have a frag grenade that I can use. All right. And you can only search a crate once. I need to get to that crate to see if I can find armor. All right, this moves over. This triggers an evasion token for the frog. If I can find one, there we go. You have an evasion token. And this is a move. It can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still there. And he's got an evasion token. All right, my turn. 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is horrible. A whole bunch of moves and an attack. These are all going to turn into attacks. So, actually 1, because he'll have to. No, he has to. He can't be adjacent to me. He's got to be ranged. So he'll have to burn 1 to get 1. He'll burn 1 to get here. And then he gets 3 attacks. All right, so 3 attacks. Didn't I have a 6 here? I did. I took one of my die. He gets 3 attacks. I'm rolling. I need 4s or higher. So that will burn that one. Number 2, I take a point. I'm up to 6. If he does 1 more point of damage on me, I'm dead. I need a 4 or higher. I didn't get it. I got a 3, which means this goes up to 7, and I'm dead. Oh, so close. All I had to do was get to here to enable the emergency beacon and then find the escape pod. All right, well, there you go. That is Demonship. I do plan on playing this again until I can win it. If you have any questions about it, post it in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it. The link to the game will be in the video description, so if you want to buy a copy of it, they still sell it. Everything fits in this little box. You do not get the wood stuff, although they do have a kit. They have their own kit of the 3D terrain you can buy. I don't sell mine because I'm not trying to steal money from them. They also sell a dashboard like this. You can buy theirs. I don't sell mine. Again, I'm not trying to steal funds from them. So Demonship, there you go. Very interesting game. Very, very fun, very simple little game, but you gotta... I should have never, you never know what you're going to need to do. Bumping my thing up, I would have been at 6 if I hadn't have changed that 3 to a 4, but oh well, live and learn. All right, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played a game of Demonship. I'll be back very soon with another playthrough. Until then, everybody, take care.